Hi, I am Kerry Mussington from Mind Over Matter Project Suicide Prevention, and we have a special guest in the house today. We have Chantz Marie.
Hi.
We've got Louise and Louise Allen and Susan McCree here as well. But the special guest here is Chantz Marie is going to talk to us about lupus. But before we get to lupus, which is the bottom and managing everything, we want to get to your success. So you're going to share your. I want to hear from you, and you've got music, and beside your music, you've got this incredible journey. Now I don't know when I should actually put your music on because I'm excited to put it on right now. We're here to talk about lupus as well. So the struggles, and you're showing us that you're not let lupus stop you from achieving. So
No.
yeah, let's see this. What this is about. This is brilliant. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's hear this.
Can't nobody take away this feeling. Though I'm hurt, same time I'm healing. Thought it would break me. I float out to safety and paradise, my sanctuary. And when I stress, we just party through the night. So all my hot girls, where you at? For all my fly guys, raise your hand. Talk to my talk through the grapevine. For all that bad mind, mean I make time. Go and let them free talk, made up on mine. I will never stop living my best life. Island paradise, island paradise. I'm coming home to no stress life. I will never stop living my best life. Island paradise, island paradise. I'm coming home to no stress life. I will never stop living my best life. I wanna give thanks to the Most High that we can fly away to the blue skies, or we can escape on a cruise line. Don't worry about me, everything fine. Everything alright. When I stress, we just party through the night. So all my hot girls, where you at? For all my fly guys, raise your hand. Talk to my talk through the grapevine. For all that bad mind, mean I make time. Go and let them free talk, made up on mine. I will never stop living my best life. Island paradise, island paradise. I'm coming home to no stress life. I will never stop living my best life. Island paradise, island paradise. I'm coming home to no stress life. I will never stop living my best life. Feeling, 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 feeling.
Oh, fantastic!
Love.
Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's great feedback.
Pictured myself in the car, windows down, sun
Definitely.
shining, cruise. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Oh, that's my cup of tea. That's my music. But
Definitely.
I picked up words like stress, talk, gossip. Never stop to my best life.
Never stop living my best life. Yeah.
And what I love about that is the way that you used the word paradise, because I always believe that paradise is a consciousness,
Yeah.
and you've actually related that to the feeling, even though
Yeah.
you've mentioned the blue skies, and we know
It's like
exactly
a
what you
metaphor,
mean.
isn't it? So it could
That's
be a
right.
state of mind or a place, but yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's really fabulous. That is really nice. Well
Oh,
done.
thank you.
Well done. Well done.
So, tell us about your what led you to do that the passion that you've created in there. There's a message within your music.
Well, funny enough, a lot of my music comes to me in my sleep. So I'll wake up out of a dream and literally start writing. And I think it was around lockdown, when lockdown first hit, and I was just thinking, I need to get out of here. You know, I need to get away. And mentally, I was a bit all over the place as well on top of that. So I think for me, writing the song was like kind of therapeutic. And, you know, it just kind of took me to a place of, you know, it made me feel like I was getting away, even though I wasn't, you know. But yeah, it was lovely experience.
Oh man, this is a lovely experience. It really is. It is. I mean, I think I had the pleasure of meeting your mother, Imani Sarando, who does amazing work for the community.
Amazing work, yeah.
Always pushing out health and well-being. Credit to raising awareness. You know, with her own battles, and then having you as one and only daughter. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm the only one.
The only one. And then you developed health problems, is that right?
Yeah.
Right, what age was that?
It was, I would say my son was around 8 years old, and he's now coming up to 18. So yeah, about 10 years maybe. About 10 years ago.
10 years ago, you developed symptoms that...
Well, I actually the symptoms started way before the diagnosis. So I didn't actually know I had it. It was one of those things that I was just losing a lot of weight, and, you know, I was starting to develop blotches and rashes, and I just put it all down to stress. I didn't know that I actually had an illness at the time.
So what was it, a dramatic amount of weight?
Yeah, literally went from like 10 stone to 6 stone.
Wow.
Yeah, I was smaller than a size 6. I was maybe like a size 4 in clothing. I was tiny, literally no weight on me. There was no flesh on me. It was just like literally touching bone. I didn't notice it within myself. I didn't notice how much I was losing, but people that hadn't seen me for months on end, when they finally saw me after like maybe 3-4 months, they were like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? You know, they could literally see that I was withering away, you know.
So over what time scale, like, were you losing that weight? Was it a longer period, or was it so dramatic?
Yeah, it was quite a long period, but the last stages before my diagnosis, it was very rapid. I would say about 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years of weight loss and blotches and, you know, bones aching, and yeah, it was quite a lot of symptoms I had, to be honest.
Did it affect your periods?
Yeah, they virtually stopped. Mainly my breathing. It affected my breathing more than anything, because, you know, I don't know how much you know about lupus, but lupus is an illness that attacks your body. Your body attacks itself, basically. So my white blood cells took over, and I barely had any red blood cells left. So there was nothing to carry the oxygen around the body. You know, I found myself kind of gasping for breath. My son, being very, very young at the time, had to dress me. I remember him having to dress me and literally help me out of the bath, and, you know, help me get my underwear on, and it was just horrible.
Oh, that's, wow. No, we don't know much about lupus. This is what you're actually doing today, is giving us the awareness of the signs and symptoms, because you know, losing that amount of weight, did you lose your appetite?
No, I didn't lose my appetite, funny enough. It was just that I didn't know what the illness was and what was affecting me. So at one stage I thought maybe it's certain foods that were affecting me. So I thought, okay, let me cut this out of my diet. Let me cut this out of my diet. You know, the amount of things I had to cut out of my diet in order to try and stay healthy. And also introducing a lot of greens into my diet to kind of stay fit and well. I think just because I kind of cut out carbs and things like that as well, I think that added to the weight loss. So yeah.
Can I ask?
Yes,
Since
please.
you wasn't born with it.
No.
You now know what your trigger was to start off that process. Because I read that if you're not born with it, there are certain things that can trigger it in you.
Yeah. For me, it was stress, 100%. Yeah, stress. I went through a really traumatic experience about a year before it happened. So I know, that was what started it off. Yeah.
Wow.
Good question.
Is it recognised by the National Health Service, and do they do enough to make people aware of your condition, of lupus as a condition on the whole?
That's one thing I don't know, but I do know that a lot of people have told me that it is more recognised now. I know before people didn't know anything about it. I do know that people know a little bit more about it now, but they're still unsure about a few things, because I know a lot of things can trigger it and a lot of things can cause it. I know stress is the number one factor though.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is it recognised as a disability? Because with lupus, I'm told you get a lot of you have a lot of pains in the muscles.
Yeah,
you're very
it wasn't
sleepy.
actually, because funny enough, I tried to apply for disability allowance at one stage, and literally I couldn't walk. I informed them that I couldn't walk. My son had to dress me, this, that, and the other, and they refused. And I tried to appeal, and they just weren't having it. But I don't see how it's not seen as a disability, because it, the way I was, I know I could not walk, I couldn't move,
It makes sense, does it? If it inhabits your mobility.
Yeah, and affects your daily movements.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Can I also ask, the reason why I asked this is because I have a friend who suffers from lupus, and I know exactly like what you're saying in regards of body weight. Also, what I find that she does is that she tries to spend as much time as she possibly can in the Caribbean, more so like because of the sun, more so because like here, when she's here, and particularly during the cold months, she suffers really a lot.
Yeah.
You can see the fatigue.
I can imagine that, yeah.
Do you get the same fatigue of like tiredness, pains in your joints?
Well, at the moment, mine is on a stable level, but when it was unstable, and mainly before the diagnosis, I was in excruciating pain, and the cold didn't help. The only thing that I can say helped with that was a healthy diet. So it was literally cut out meat. So I'm on the greens. Everything that enters my body had to be pure. And meditation and breathing exercises, they help too.
Chantz, I'm going to tell you that you might have been ejected from your application for PIP. Lupus is classed and recognised as a disability. If you've been diagnosed with lupus, you could be entitled to disability benefits from the government.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, wow.
There are a range of benefits available that some means tested based on your household income and others are not. Again, how lupus qualifies you for social disability as disability, when it meets these conditions, it involves 2 or more organs of the body. It includes at least 2 major signs and symptoms such as severe fatigue or fever, I can't say that word, malice and involuntary weight loss. So,
yeah, imagine that.
So for me, it goes on how you describe on your worst days, and then this is where people get it wrong. Oh, I feel all right now. But what about those worst days? So they pass you through the assessment about the worst days, and so sometimes you're just a number and a paperwork on an assessment. So we have to go back and speak the right languages, and your medical documents should say all of that, because that's what they rely on anyway, is your medical documents. So you are rightly so to know that you are entitled to that suffering.
And that's good to know, actually.
If you have a carer, again, somebody caring for you is entitled to some support around that area as well.
It would have been her son.
I know. I'm not sure.
It would have been her son.
Too young,
you know what I'm finding? I'm really feeling frustrated about this right about now, because Chantz has been somebody who's been overlooked, and she's actually had a diagnosis.
Yeah.
And it's based on, and I want to warn the viewers that when you have a diagnosis, it is considered as a disability, long-term or short-term, vice versa.
Absolutely.
If it's a long-term, it's long-term, isn't it? It means it's not going to change. You're not going to change the outcome to that diagnosis. You might be able to heal, help with the recovery, and to do all you can do to be comfortable. But they've named it for what it is, which then describes in details the pain and the suffering that you go through. And as you're saying, Chantz, that you experience weight loss, you know, the stigma to that alone, when people are questioning you, she's probably got an eating disorder, because that comes along as well. So I'm thinking the stigma is the fact that your child has had to endure looking after a parent when it should be the other way around. This is what happens in society. Then you will feel more stressed, thinking, oh my God, my child needs to be a child, but here he is looking after me. That's more stress. That's more depression.
That was,
But you're teaching your child responsibility, but you also taught your child a medical condition. That's
definitely
what you've done. You educated. How will it affect your children? Is it hereditary? So even though I can go look the answers up, I'm going to hear from your vocal. Is that all right?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't hereditary. It was brought on by stress, but my children, it did affect them greatly. More so my son. I think my daughter was a little bit too young to remember everything, but my son, it did affect him a lot, because, you know, they didn't know whether I was dying. You know, he didn't know. Half the time, he didn't know what to do. You know, I'll be kind of crawling down the stairs, and he'd be kind of like crying at the bottom, like not knowing what to do, and knowing that he has to go to school. I will say the schools were quite a big help. They used to send a teacher to come to the house and actually get him and bring him to school and things like that. But apart from that, I can't really say anyone else was, apart from my mum.
Was you offered to go on a lupus awareness course at all?
No.
See, that's what there's not enough of, is there? There's not enough awareness out in the community. But I'm all for looking at another issue about lupus, is about blood donation. And they said you shouldn't be, or shouldn't donate blood. How does that pose an issue?
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I was unaware of that.
That's what I'm saying. There's not enough research for lupus, and the only thing that we have available is Lupus UK. And again, is it a condition of culture? I can ask those questions. And predominantly with men or women. What have you been told yourself about your own diagnosis?
Well, from what I've researched, it does affect a lot of Black women, women of colour, and quite young women of colour as well, as opposed to the people who are white that get the illness are normally a bit older in age. So no idea why, genetics or no idea. But yeah, it tends to affect a lot of young women of colour.
Did you know that really you shouldn't really do the tattoos as well?
Well,
It's
luckily
really
I had most of
interesting.
them beforehand.
Yeah, it's really interesting because about the blood clot. And so do you find you have, then you went on to have a child, well, having...
Oh yeah, I went on to have 2 after that, actually. Yeah, so I've got 4 in total. I've got a 2-year-old, one that's nearly 2. I've got a the 10-year-old. I think it was going on around the time she was born, funny enough. And I remember the doctor saying to me, don't have any more kids because they might come out deformed.
Oh.
Why would they have come out deformed?
I don't know if it was due to the medication that I took after receiving the diagnosis or what, but I was just like, well, my kids seem fine to me, but you know.
Can I, how pregnancy is traumatic anyway, without having to deal with. How did you manage that and being pregnant? Was there significant, like, more issues that you entailed, or?
Well, funny enough, she it was just kind of dying down around that time, so she came out fine, but then it kind of went to a peak again. So yeah, I'd say when she was about 6 months old, that's when it started erupting again. But at this point, I didn't have a diagnosis, so it was still a bit, didn't know what I had. I just thought it was blotching and things like that.
So compared to the pregnancies that you had before you were diagnosed and the pregnancies afterwards, would you say that you went through the pregnancy?
That was the worst pregnancy, yeah. I'd say that was the worst, yeah.
What test did they do to prove that you had lupus?
Well, they didn't even have to do a test at first. The doctor literally, and my mum explained, look, she can't breathe. She's lost dramatic weight. She's like 6 stone. The doctor literally, I went to see a lupus specialist because all the other doctors had they didn't diagnose. I've seen maybe about 6 or 7. They were fearing the worst because of my blood cell count. They were thinking like, is it AIDS? Is it cancer? They didn't know what it was, to be honest. So when we went to see this lupus specialist, he looked at me and he was just like, wow. And he was like, you've got lupus. And he was like, if you wouldn't have come to see me today, you wouldn't have lasted. You would not have lasted the rest of the week. So yeah, that had me in tears. Yeah, I was literally like so frail. My bones were, it was horrible. Yeah.
Go on, Lou. I know you want to say something.
No, it just gave me a chill just to think that she was, you know.
Yeah, it was scary.
So close to that point.
And then the worst of it is to be dejected by blinking disability. So you was.
Can you believe?
It proves that, you know, if that's on record, it's been said that you were near death. That's how serious it is.
That far away.
That's how serious it is.
And then that's not even to mention the amount of times I wanted to kill myself in between, because, you know, watching my children see me like that, you know, my son having to dress me. I remember having a birthday party and I was ill and kind of really frail, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and make an effort and I'm going to stay warm and I'm going to do everything right, and hopefully the night should go according to plan. And I took my tablets. This is after the diagnosis, but the tablets weren't working at first. So I remember, you know, trying to mingle with everyone, and I'm still trying to put on a brave face, even though I'm in pain. And I remember going out into the garden for something. And by the time I came back in, I couldn't walk. Like my bones, the cold air had hit me and my bones had literally just seized up. And I remember my partner at the time, he had to go and run a hot bath for me and literally sit me in it because I couldn't, nothing was easing off the pain. I was literally like in tears basically. So everyone was partying downstairs and they didn't have a clue what was wrong with me, you know. because yeah, it's just crazy.
It's quite really telling that story back. You should write a book. And telling that story back is,
that's in the pipeline.
yeah, good. Because everybody needs to hear, because that this story, what you're doing today, is amazing, because it is completely raising awareness in I mean, I've heard other people talk about their lupus, but not in depth like this. When you talked about, there was times where you felt suicidal, you can comprehend, and this is what I want people to understand, that you're not born with, it's not the fact that you use the word mental health, there's a reason behind why people feel low, and this is why this is why we come and we raise this awareness on different topics, different situations, so that we can remove the stigma, that because we have a label, it's not defining us. Look what you've gone through. It shows you stress, depression came from not being able to move motivated. It came from, you know, your child taking over your care as opposed to the other way around. Felt hopelessness. You had a lack of energy. You could barely breathe. You could barely walk. You could barely function. You was on near death. And it wasn't the fact that you wanted to give up on life. It's the fact that the pain was so excruciating. What you're asking for is to stop. What you're asking for is, I need a solution to this. I need to I need to come out of this. How can I get this change? For years you were suffering. How can I get this change if people keep knocking on the door for the answers and they don't have an idea of what's wrong with me? And it takes that one person to recognize and understand. I've heard this story before. I've heard that awareness before. She's describing this. And it's the expertise and the qualifications of someone knowing what they're doing and what they're looking for.
And that's why that's why he was the only person to, you know, right, that's what it is. But
yeah. Since discovering that you had lupus, did you feel
a release?
Finally. How did you feel?
It was like a release, but at the same time, I knew I was still in pain. I just needed something to take away the pain, really, and the pain from the blotches and stuff. And the main thing that did that at the time was steroids, which was not good, because obviously, as you know, there's side effects to steroids as well.
No, tell us.
Oh, well, too much steroids can actually soften the bones. So I was taking that, and maybe slightly more than I should have, to try and get it onto a stable level. Not realizing that steroids are just suppressing the illness, they're not getting rid of the illness. So I had to take a different approach and go vegan for a bit. Deep meditations with my mum, you know, she's big on like meditation and health and things like that. So just had to change everything, my whole way of life really at the time, just to get it on the straight and narrow.
So particularly the diet was important to change, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. And I think culturally, a lot of people are going plant-based and vegan, and people do, what's all of that? But culturally, we are expanding on what these earthly foods are about, and that they have healing within those earthly produce.
But I
mean, I'm learning, because you've got to understand that even though we're on here, there's 4 of us women on here, and we're talking about you, we're talking about your experience in your life. So you said stress triggers it. Hey, hold on. And you said that the color of our skin will make our heritage would make a contribution to it as well. So hold on a minute. Then you're saying, and what it's saying is that this could happen to anyone at any given time, a level of stress. And if we don't know what we're doing, we can't self-heal or manage it. And so what you're learning is how to manage your symptom, to manage your symptoms, and to manage this lupus. And you know, if you stop eating healthy, it will be then you're the one that's bringing it back on. Is that right? In a sense, you've got an active duty.
I think it's just a thing of managing everything, like everything in moderation. You know, not too much of this, not too much of this, not too much stress. If you feel yourself getting stressed, then, you know, implement certain breathing techniques and meditations into it, and just trying to keep everything on the straight and narrow. And now at the moment, I've been on a stable level for a few years now, and but I do feel the odd hiccup when I'm not keeping up with my vitamins, when I'm not keeping up with my healthy eating and meditation and exercise, things like that. Then I do notice that the start twinges, and I just have to quickly get back in line with things.
Yeah.
What vitamins?
Definitely vitamin C and D.
Yeah, because it's for your bones, and again, culturally, calcium, again, makes a big difference. Well. Yeah.
And calcium.
Yeah. And I've been told that, you know, the vitamins, I've been taking my vitamins. I try to take my vitamins. The problem with, I'm not making excuses, the problem with the word mental health is habits are there and not on top of. And like you said, getting medication, that's quite easy to be done. I bought a Dorset box, but I can see the days that I've skipped. It's just, sometimes it's nice to have a prompt and someone who checks on you to make sure that you're okay and you're up to date with your things. I feel that, gosh, I've got a lot of information out of you today, but I really feel that you're sending a very clear message for me that when you went into the music industry and started to focus on you, me time, happy events, you seem to have changed the mindset and the ability to achieve more. Your music sounds amazing. Can I have a copy?
I need that downloaded somewhere. So
yeah, wait, you know what? We're I think Lupus UK. Please use a search engine to find that. Well, I will put it in the links above and everything else. But there's so much more to your story, and I'd love to.
There is so much more. What I will do is I will send a link to you of one of my tracks that I wrote during all the madness and illness, actually, and it's about, you know, not giving up and about me being ill and things like that. It's a happy song, but it's a deep happy song. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'll forward that.
Question for you, and you know, this is food for thought for anyone, and I'm not about to cut corners when I want to do a message. And this question we can only answer with truth. Had you have taken your life, what do you think would have happened? I know it doesn't bear to think, but I want people to think about this before they ever contemplate in doing something like that. What do you feel that when you got to your lowest of lowest, when you look back now, have you eliminated that feeling of guilt and understanding more why you were down there and what you would, what message would you project to anybody that's feeling how you felt at your darkest hour?
I would just like to tell people that are feeling like that there's always a way out. It might seem like there's no way out at that point, but there is a way out. You know, if you reach out to people, and there's people out there that can help. There's search engines as well that can give you information that you need. You know, just don't sit in a box and start dwelling on things, and just, you know, try and reach out to somebody.
Yeah. And educate yourself, more importantly, very much educate yourself. The education is empowering. It gives you access to doors that you didn't know was there. And I think, even like I said, coming here today with you guys, ladies' questions as well adds to the interest of this lupus. What is lupus? How does it affect you? You've heard from Chantz how it affected her, and how it really did pull her down. She didn't know about her rights around disability. She does now. You know, and again, it's there to help manage with this, be more manageable. Looking after yourself, healthy eating, you know, exercise and mindfulness. And now her mother is always advertising events on mindfulness and well-being as well. You know, it's you can't stop now, can you?
No, I
You're now
can't.
going pushing out into the music industry, and
Definitely.
you're spreading a big message. Who is this lady again? Chantz Marie, Island Paradise. Go ahead, Louise.
Sorry, it's going back to so I know we're talking about moving forward, but there was a question I had that I didn't ask. I'm sure I didn't ask it. You had children after you had, so do they have lupus?
No.
So it literally just came to you from out of nowhere, and you haven't passed.
Well, not really out of not
out of nowhere, because it's there,
but
isn't
yeah,
it?
years down the line, yeah. So it's not hereditary. Well, it wasn't hereditary for me. It was literally brought on by stress. But what I will say is I went through a huge ordeal. I went through a very traumatic experience, and that experience, it literally kicked in straight after that. That's when the weight loss started. That's when the blotches started.
Into your children?
No, they're fine.
It says
that's good.
It does say that it is likely that lupus results from a combination of your genetic and your environment. That's where you mentioned the word stress earlier, right? It appears that people with an inherited predisposition for lupus may develop the disease when they come into contact with something in the environment that can trigger lupus. And the cause of lupus in most cases, however, is unknown. Isn't that amazing that simple trigger? And they say that, you know, stress can trigger cancer as well, which is a very true experience. And so, you see, stress can trigger a lot of things. So
anything, I think,
is changing.
So we're finding out,
the environment, the outcome, the behavior. You've given us a fantastic awareness today.
Brilliant.
Have you got another song?
I've got loads.
So where can they find you? This is your space now to take the floor, Chantz.
So guys, you can find me on Instagram at official Chantz, CHANTZ Marie, or you can find me on YouTube under Chantz Marie.
I've already found you.
You're not wasting time.
You know what? You got to understand that. You got to understand that. Come doing what we're doing now, we're getting to meet amazing people that are not discovered, that just looked upon as, hey, but they're not looking at the talents and the growth and what you've been through to get to where you are now.
I think that's what people fail to realize. I think they just think, oh, this girl's just picked up a microphone and started singing. No one really knows the story behind it. It's only recently, since I've been on the radio, you know, I was on colourful radio recently and stuff, talking about my journey, but that was more to do with domestic violence and then the lupus coming along. But you know, it's only recently that people are starting to understand the story behind the journey. So yeah, it's great.
Well, they'll understand a lot more today, won't they?
Definitely.
If you're getting this broadcast late, you'll be able to find it on Mind Over Matter Project Suicide Prevention on that channel as well. And within that is your details as well. So I'll put all of that in there. And then also we have the Mom Project Mental Health Awareness. I can't even remember what it is now. I'm so sorry. Just put in the word MOM, Mom Project Suicide Prevention, and it should come up all over the Facebook, all over the search engines. And if you want to know how to find us, or you want any help or support around lupus or anything that you've heard today, even domestic violence, please do get in contact, www.momproject.co.uk for any questions that you want. Also, you can go to the Mind Over Matter Gives Back. There is contact details there, a WhatsApp, Messenger, contact myself, and we'll answer those questions. If you need to get hold of Chantz Marie, she just told you where you can find her. But we're happy to pass a message on as well, so just in case you missed the details. it's been, ladies, Susan, Lou, got any more questions? And thank you so much, Chantz, for coming here today. And we know we're going to have you back with us ladies to talk about domestic violence again.
Yeah, you've got me back soon.
People.
Yeah,
we are hoping to have that one in July the 17th. I think we post that one in for.
Nice meeting you all as well.
Nice meeting you, and well done, and congratulations, because you're an awesome person who have brought yourself through an incredible journey. And it is one that I have to say that when our voices are not being heard, and when you're not being heard through the health services that are there for all of us, it can be quite saddening. So definitely. I do feel that slight bit of in my heart. Yeah, I had to swallow at times because you've been very quiet. I just want to say you're an incredible person, and I really do hope you go on to your success that you deserve. And I hope
thank you so much.
Go forward with the music industry as well. And the song is very beautiful. So thank you. Thank you.
100%, a great inspiration. And you've got a little fan here, so.
Oh,
you've got more now, yeah. So, ladies, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, all over. This is to everyone. Even like men, do men get it? You know, no, I don't. Do men get it?
That's really strange. I really don't know. There's never been any mention of men getting it.
The search engine.
Google.
Well, we should have asked Lupus UK if they'd like to come in for an interview. You know,
yeah,
give us a little bit more on that. Perhaps they'll pick up on this and contact us. Is Lupus
does Lupus only affect women?
Let's have a look.
Does Lupus only affect women?
Does Lupus affect men? See, if we don't have people that are qualified,
I believe it does. I believe it does.
It says lupus can develop in anyone, male or female, at any age, including children and teenagers and adults. A lot of misinformation exists about lupus, and men with the disease may discover that people are often surprised to learn that they have it because of incorrect belief that lupus only occurs in women.
Right. I knew it occurred in men. And also because men probably don't come, and particularly, and I would definitely know from the Black community, that might be seen as slightly a bit of weakness rather than actually seeing it as an illness.
Yeah, I agree.
Sad, really sad.
Can you tell us about these blotches before we go? And I know we've put out so much information, but we mentioned the word blotches, and I know that particularly when we have darker skin, it can seem like a silver.
That's what it was, like a dark kind of pigment spots that you see on some people when they've got really bad scarring and things. But the blotches were like, they started off itchy, but then as the lupus got worse, they actually were like under the skin as well, like raised. Yeah, it was literally like the tissue, like lumps within the tissue. So yeah, it was quite scary.
I know you said they were itchy, but did they become irritated and sore?
Yeah, and painful. Yeah, painful as well.
Yeah. You know what, men and women, you've been educated well and truly today, and you would have to do what we do. We only give you part of the information, but to explore much, much more. I mean, that opens up a whole new door. Hearing that today will make me look at other people when they say they're tired. I'm going to ask them, have you checked for lupus? Have you checked for lupus? Because you ask people to check for diabetes, don't you? Because they have to change. You ask people to check their breast and their prostate or their testicles for lumps and bumps as well. And it's got to be the same too. We must ask those questions when someone's feeling unwell. Get to the bottom of it. When you go to the GP, put it on the table. Have I got lupus? I'm feeling tired, fatigued, sick, underweight. Could be anything. So let's just not home in on the
definitely.
Yeah, let's just not home in. Have I got cancer? Let's home in on maybe I've got lupus. Well, there is recovery from that, and that's eating healthy as you know,
Yeah.
and putting your life into a life of abundance and happiness. And I think that's where you've overturned everything by being positive, mental positive attitude to life. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to play out with your music, though. Shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah, just bear with me then, yeah, because this is real life, real technology. So I think, yeah, let's do that. It's got. Have you got videos behind it as well?
Yeah, if you put in Chantz Marie, It's Your Time, that's that's a good track to end on.
Hold on, let me do it. Chantz Marie, it's your time. Yeah, I got permission.
You have my permission.
Oh, it's your time. Oh, right, let's do this. I've got full access first before you guys. So I just had to do it. So let's do this. Technology, coming back, and it says share screen, and I'm going to share my screen with you. Now, entrance fee is going to cost you. All right.
Make them pay.
Yeah. If you want to donate or get a t-shirt towards what we're doing, please do visit the website www.momproject.co.uk. Join us in the awareness and get your t-shirts. They do come in many colours. And say that, and then you can say that you've done awareness with us. So that's what it's about. Right, here we go. Let's do this. Chantz Marie, it's your time. Not in my room.
They say, Chantz Marie, you were born for this. Nobody had your back. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Shine, Chantz Marie, you were born for this. Nobody had your back. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Shine. There was a time I'd given up, went out my way, was going nuts, but out of darkness came the light, and now my future's looking bright. Don't let their shit bring you down. I'll have these haters all around. Girl, it's your time, live out your life. Mama always told me, black butterfly. Mama always told me, black butterfly. Just spread your wings, fly. Mama always told me, black butterfly. Born for this, nobody had your back. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Shine, Chantz Marie, you were born for this. Nobody had your back. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Shine, just like a star. Don't ever doubt who you are. And when the going gets tough, and when the days they get rough. Shine, 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 shine. Don't doubt who you are. Nobody had your back. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Shine, Chantz Marie, you were born for this. Nobody had your back. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. shine.
Right, yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. You know what's quite sad watching that a little bit.
Yeah.
One thing I
You
did
drew
pick
me
up
in
on
that one.
in the video was you give the man a slap. We don't condone violence, by the way, but still,
Yeah.
I think it was just you're giving yourself a big, clear message. You were born for this, honey. You were born for this, and go and spread your wings. So I got a bit welled up about this because it's what a privilege and an honour. It's like meeting the Queen for me today. Thank you. Actually, you get
Oh, don't make my head swell.
but it is because I'm recognising your achievements. I'm not just looking at you as that little girl's growing up. Celebration at the end of it. Too rightly, you've just done incredible, amazing things, giving people hope that no matter what you go through, you are born to discover new abilities and get out there and embrace life with the right balance. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Gonna end that one right there. Fantastic. Smile, best smile out, guys.
Take care.